Episode 74, Truly Extraordinary. Who rescued her? As the debate between supporters of Western cuisine and Chinese cuisine continued, representatives from both sides expressed their opinions. Even those who didn't have much expertise in the matter had a strong sense of patriotism. The debate escalated, and soon everyone was caught up in a heated argument. The most awkward person in this situation was William because he happened to be of mixed heritage, and he didn't know which side to support. Seeing the two factions arguing, the timing was ripe. Ning Xuelua, who had been looking displeased, suddenly flashed a gleam in her eyes. She urged Fangye with a glance. Understanding Ning Xuelua's intention, Fangye immediately knew what to do. She stood up and said, "Why don't we settle this with a live showdown? Since Ning Shi is so capable and even managed to invite Mr. Daniel, it should be easy for her to invite another chef like Chef He Shinsong, right? Yeah. Let Ning Shi do it. It's a win-win situation. This way, you don't need to argue anymore. Actions speak louder than words." All eyes turned to Ning Shi. Ning Shi, however, remained indifferent and made no response. Seeing Ning Shi's lack of a reaction, Fangye couldn't let her off so easily. She continued to press, "Ning Shi, what do you think? The person you invited has caused a commotion. You can't just stand there and do nothing, right? Yeah, this banquet was originally meant to be a joyous occasion. Everyone is upset now because of you. Ning Shi has so many admirers. Why not call each one and see if any of them can figure something out?" Little Peach timidly tugged at Ning Shi's sleeve. "Sister Shi, can Mr. Chef He, whom you invited, help invite Chef He Shinsong?" Ning Shi glanced at Little Peach and handed her a cherry. She spoke in a calm tone, "Little Peach, each to their own preferences. If someone likes radishes, does that make cabbage inferior? If others like it, let them try. We're here to enjoy ourselves." "Oh." Little Peach seemed to understand vaguely. Although she didn't fully grasp Ning Shi's meaning, she nodded. After thinking it over, she realized that she might have spoken thoughtlessly just now. Dreaming of inviting Chef He Shinsong? That was unrealistic. Considering how they managed to invite Mr. Daniel, it was already remarkable. "Well, I'll just ask casually. I also think it's quite unlikely. These people are really too much. They've enjoyed so much delicious food thanks to you, and yet they turn around and make trouble for you," Little Peach complained. After venting, she mumbled to herself, "By the way, dreaming of inviting Chef He Shinsong? It's just Fangye and the others making a fuss to undermine Sister Shi's limelight." "So, Ning Shi, what do you think? Your admirer seems quite capable. Why not have him invite Chef He Shinsong too? It would be an eye-opener for all of us." Hearing Fangye's suggestion, many busybodies chimed in, though most thought it was absurd. "Are you kidding? It's already difficult to invite someone like Danielle. Now you want to invite Chef He Shinsong? Moreover, it's immediate. It's like trying to hail a taxi. Ning Shi's admirer might have some background, but it's not exaggerated to this extent. In fact, Ning Shi is quite pitiful. She finally managed to suppress Ning Xuelua's limelight, and now something like this happens." Someone whispered. Fangye added sarcastically, "Who can she blame? She's the one who insisted on showing off." Suyen proposed to Ning Xuelua so sincerely, but she couldn't let it go. She had to insert herself and seek attention. "Well, since she started, why not continue? We're all waiting." Fangye, feeling triumphant, looked at Ning Shi and asked, "So, Ning Shi, what do you say? Will you invite him or not?" "Let it be." Suddenly, Ning Xuelua, who was on the main stage, spoke. All eyes turned to Ning Xuelua. "Since everyone wants to taste Mr. He's cooking, let my brother Yan and me handle it. Don't trouble Ning Shi anymore," Ning Xuelua said gently. Hearing this, everyone suddenly understood. It seemed impossible for Ning Shi's admirer to invite He Shinsong after successfully inviting Danielle. Ning Xuelua and Suyen, on the other hand, might have the influence to do so. "Wait. Xuelua, are you saying that you and Suyen will invite He Shinsong?" Suddenly, a food journalist exclaimed. "Yes, I believe you'll meet Mr. He soon," Ning Xuelua said confidently, her previous disappointment and frustration completely vanished. "Oh my god, Xuelua, you actually managed to invite Mr. He Shinsong. Am I dreaming?" Fangye exaggeratedly exclaimed, almost dancing with joy. "Well, don't get too excited. Tonight is not only the closing banquet but also the engagement day for my brother Yan and me. So, my brother Yan and I will do our best to satisfy everyone's requests. Ning Xuelua said elegantly. With Ning Xuelua's words, the whole venue erupted in excitement. Everyone was thrilled and eager to see He Xinsong since Ning Xuelua said they could expect him. Tonight, not only would they taste the top-notch Western cuisine by Danielle but also witness He Xinsong. On an ordinary day, such thoughts would be unimaginable. In just a few moments, the hotel doors opened, and amidst the exclamations of countless journalists outside, a man in traditional Chinese clothing walked in gracefully. He Xinsong, He Xinsong. It's really He Xinsong. Suyen and Xuelua actually managed to invite He Xinsong. Unbelievable. Sensational. Xuelua, congratulations for bringing He Xinsong here. Am I dreaming? At that moment, several food bloggers were so excited that they almost lost their composure upon seeing He Xinsong. Uncle He Xinsong. Thank you for coming. Suyen greeted He Xinsong with respect as he approached with Ning Xuelua. He Xinsong nodded as he looked at Ning Xuelua and Suyen. He had already heard about tonight's events from Suyen's father. Firstly, congratulations to both of you. Now, I don't have much time. Let's get started quickly. After talking to Suyen, He Xinsong walked directly towards Danielle. Mr. Danielle, hello. I didn't expect to meet you here. He Xinsong smiled. Oh, Mr. He Xinsong, I've heard of your reputation. It's my honor to meet you today. Danielle was also very polite. While He Xinsong might not surpass Danielle in culinary skills, his achievements extended beyond just cooking. Having been invited by high-ranking officials from various countries, He Xinsong's influence went beyond the culinary realm. I wonder if I can use this venue. He Xinsong asked with a smile. Danielle thought for a moment, considering that his main course had just been completed, and it wouldn't be reasonable to monopolize the head chef position. Eventually, he nodded, saying, "All right, my task is also finished. You can take over the position." With these words, Danielle led his team to the VIP area, giving up the space to He Xinsong. The crowd was surprised to see Danielle willingly giving up the position, thinking he might have conceded. "Mr. Danielle, it doesn't seem appropriate for us to take over the position. He Xinsong's culinary skills are not comparable to yours in various aspects. Mr. Danielle, you clearly have the advantage." Alan furrowed his brow. "Our main courses have all been prepared. There's no reason to occupy the space," Danielle replied, indifferent to the situation. Since Danielle said so, Alan didn't continue to argue. At their level, such concerns were insignificant. Half an hour later, He Xinsong had already completed several unique and delicious dishes exclusive to Chinese cuisine. The rich aroma spread throughout the hotel, making many mouths water. "Miss Xuelua, my blessings to you and Suyen are all in these dishes." He Xinsong looked at Suyen and Ning Xuelua in front of him. "Thank you, Uncle He Xinsong." Ning Xuelua smiled, and Suyen echoed her. With He Xinsong's presence, all the embarrassment and dissatisfaction from earlier vanished. Now, if anyone should feel dissatisfied, it would be Ning Shi. So fortunate. Suyen and Xuelua's engagement, with Mr. He Xinsong personally coming to congratulate. Our top chef in China, unlike some people who go out of their way to find foreign chefs and end up being completely overshadowed by Mr. He Xinsong. Fang Ye deliberately looked towards Ning Xuelua and sneered. "Alright, stop making things up." Ning Xuelua spoke up to stop the conversation. "Where's the fabrication? The fact is that Ning Xuelua's admirer wants to compete with your brother Yan. It's really ridiculous. I don't know where he gets his confidence." Fang Ye regained her arrogance, staring at Ning Shi and mocking her continuously. Yes, they had to invite a foreign chef. If you have the ability, invite a top chef from China to see if they can match up with Suyen. Really, with Suyen, they're overly self-confident. Fang Ye and a few crew members started gossiping again. In the distance, Ning Shi shook her head with a faint smile. These people were indeed amusing. She even felt that if she responded, she would instantly be assimilated into being a fool. Mr. Danielle is, after all, a foreign chef. It's impossible to compare him to Mr. He Xinsong in the Chinese region. That's right. Although Mr. Danielle's Western cuisine is world-class, I still prefer our Chinese food. Liking Chinese cuisine just shows your taste. I love Western cuisine and think Mr. Danielle's dishes are truly extraordinary, unparalleled. Ah. Ridiculous. Is that also considered extraordinary? Do you know what truly extraordinary means? While people were debating fiercely and not giving in to each other, there was a subtle creak. The banquet hall's large doors quietly opened from the outside. Under the dazzling crystal chandeliers, a young man supported an old man as they stood at the entrance. The old man wore coarse linen clothes, with white hair and a spirited demeanor, giving off an immortal aura. At that moment, guests were arguing, mocking Ningxi, and enjoying the spectacle. The first to notice the old man was a young person engaged in a heated argument. Suddenly, the person stopped speaking, stared at the entrance, and couldn't say a word. Kai Lao. In an instant, everyone followed the gaze of the impassioned young man. Suddenly, they all froze, especially those who had been mocking Ningxi just a moment ago, like Fangya. Their expressions were as if they had seen a ghost. Is that person? That old man looks so familiar. Wait. Could it be Kai Fengxian? Am I dreaming? Someone rubbed their eyes. What nonsense. Are you seeing things? No. It's really Mr. Kai Fengxian. I've seen him on TV. Someone exclaimed. His companion, the young man, I've seen him on TV too. Isn't he Kai Fengxian's eldest son, Kai Cheng? I can search it right now to show you. Before, there was a highly popular food show on the national network, causing a culinary craze. The last episode was dedicated to Kai Fengxian, leaving a deep impression on the audience. So, apart from the professional food journalists, many people recognized Kai Fengxian, including Fangya and others. The impassioned young man couldn't contain his excitement and rushed forward. Mr. Kai, do you remember me? 8 years ago in Qingcheng, there was a small restaurant. You personally guided me. Hearing this, Kai Fengxian showed a thoughtful expression and pondered, is it the Lai Fu restaurant? Are you little Lai Fu? The impassioned young man's eyes turned red. Yes, that's right. Lai Fu restaurant. I am Yuan Lai Fu. I didn't expect you still remember me. If it weren't for your guidance back then, I wouldn't have had the courage to leave my hometown and study. I wouldn't be where I am today. Upon hearing this, some people also recognized the impassioned man. Oh, this man? I remember now. He seems to be quite famous. Isn't he the head chef of a high-end restaurant in the capital? He's said to have started from a small village and worked his way up. I didn't expect him to have such a connection with Mr. Kai Fengxian. After sighing over Mr. Kai, everyone felt even more respectful. Mr. Kai is truly a teacher with students everywhere. This is the charm of character. After expressing their admiration for Mr. Kai, everyone was extremely surprised. How could Mr. Kai Fengxian suddenly appear here? Mr. Kai, why are you here? The impassioned young man asked excitedly. Father came to celebrate Miss Ningxi. Kai Fengxian's son, Kai Cheng, replied. Once this statement was made, the entire venue fell into a deathly silence. After everyone regained their senses, their first reaction was to look towards Ningxi in the distance. Each of them seemed as if they had seen a ghost. Fangya and several crew members stared blankly, frozen in place. Even Suyan was shocked, and Ning Xuelua's smile froze on her face. Oh my! Ningxi. She's truly incredible. First, she had Alan, the god of food, then the Western cuisine god, Master Daniel. Now, she's brought out our Chinese culinary grandfather, Mr. Kai Fengxian. I'm totally impressed. Ha ha ha, have you seen Fangya and Ning Xuelua's expressions? One moment, Fangya was barking arrogantly, and the next, Mr. Kai Fengxian arrived. It's hilarious. Ningxi is simply too extraordinary. So what if she's showing off? She has the capital to show off. And she really can blind people with her brilliance. These three people, each one of them completely crushed William. Even Mr. He Shinsong couldn't match up. So fortunate. Just this banquet is enough to make headlines for me in the coming months. Hey, don't your newspapers have a food section too? Call your food journalists. This is such a great opportunity. Yes, I'll call him right away. Our food editor is a big fan of Mr. Kai. Even his desktop background is a picture of dishes made by Mr. Kai. I told him about William's arrival tonight, but he didn't care. If he knew that Mr. Kai was coming, he would definitely regret it. Ha ha ha. In the corner, Xiaotao was already so excited that she almost shook Ningxi's arm off. Mr. Kai. It's really Mr. Kai. Sishi, you're amazing. Just like Doraemon. Whatever you wish for, it comes true. When did you make that call? I had no idea. She didn't even touch her phone, okay? And what's with Doraemon? When Mr. Kai Fengxian appeared just now, she was also stunned. She thought she was hallucinating. And she could be sure it wasn't YS who invited him. Leaving aside whether he could invite Mr. Kai, that guy was only interested in playing tricks on her. He wouldn't do something like helping her out. So, who rescued her? Could it be? Ningxi's heart skipped a beat, and the cool profile of a certain man flashed in her mind. The only person who could possibly invite Mr. Kai Fengxian might be. Seeing the two at the entrance, the hotel owner rushed over, greeting them without much enthusiasm. Mr. Kai, why didn't you say anything when you came? I could have sent someone to pick you up. This is really disrespectful. Kai Fengxian waved his hand dismissively. No need for the trouble. His son, Kai Cheng, explained, father came on someone else's behalf, a last-minute decision. I see. The hotel owner suddenly realized, casting a meaningful look towards Ningxi in the corner. Upon hearing this, everyone became more certain that it was Ningxi who had someone invite Mr. Kai, or how else would it be so coincidental? Humph, so what? We have Mr. He Xian. Fang Jeskov Disdanfeli. Yes, that's right. Mr. He Xian is the founder of the #1 restaurant in China, Green Lotus. Several crew members echoed her. At that moment, some food bloggers and journalists looked at Fangya and the actors as if they were pure idiots. They had doubted them before, but now they were sure. Fangya and those actors were indeed idiots, complete and utter fools who knew nothing. Yet, they were pretending to be big shots here. This was truly embarrassing. Master Kai. He Xian approached Kai Fengxian respectfully. We meet again. Mr. Kai nodded. I didn't expect Master Kai to appear. I was somewhat reluctant to come here before, but now, it seems like I made the right choice. If Master Kai has time, I hope you can teach me a thing or two. He Xian smiled. Seeing He Xian's attitude towards Mr. Kai Fengxian, Fangya and the actors were dumbfounded. They couldn't say a word. Their expressions were a mix of surprise and embarrassment, and it was truly difficult to put into words. On the other side, in the VIP seats, Danielle walked straight towards Kai Fengxian. The two elderly men looked at each other from a distance for a long time. It took Danielle a while to calm down. Old buddy, long time no see.